And here we are again. Welcome to another edition of Unexplained Cases Medium. I'm Rick Garner, your executive producer, along with the star of the show, the effervescent Maryam the Medium. Have you ever been called effervescent before?
No. I've been called a lot of things, but never that. So thank you. That's sweet.
Yes, I like
I think
at
a lot
least
of people. I think a lot of people that know me may not use that word, but that's very nice of you.
Well, that's of course, effervescent could be like a bubbling, drink there or something too. Actually, like that. So, and I don't know.
Take it.
Bubbling? Does that work? I don't know. I don't think so.
Bubbling, but bubbling also is kind of like bubbly and sweet and fun, and which I don't know that people would say that I'm always that easygoing and sweet and fun. And oh my gosh,
Come on.
I'm not that light. I'm a little bit more to the point.
see, this is how people get to know. Like, that's the part of doing these live shows is folks be able to know, who we are and what's going on. Hey, Court, what's up? Yes, and share stuff. We like people sharing things. We're sharing, right? So let's see who else we got here. We got is that France? Hi from Canada.
Hi,
Kristen,
Canada.
Kim and Angela Mitchell. What's up? Went to Myrtles. Angie, I give you extra props because love the Myrtles and saw some of your investigation there. That was awesome. So Stephanie and Misty and Dawn from Indiana. See Crystal's coming in from Colorado. So a lot of folks here. We appreciate you joining. One thing that we want to go ahead and get out of the way and just let people know about is, of course, we have this show right now. And thanks everybody for joining. But we'll also be back tonight for Unexplained Cases Live. And here to tell us what's coming up tonight would be our own Mr. Darren Dito.
Hey everybody, Darren Dito from Unexplained Cases Live. Coming up on our show tonight, we're going to do a live investigation with Mr. Brian Riley from the Mississippi Paranormal Society of Magnolia Hall in Natchez, Mississippi. Lots of ghosts there. Plus we'll have a live remote viewing with Maryam of that joint. We'll see you for Unexplained Cases Live.
Looking forward to that. Brian, one of our first, I guess you could say, contacts in the paranormal field back in the day. Mississippi, that's my home state and where I was born and raised, as they say. So that's how Darren and I got to meet Brian. And the fact that he is basically, he's kind of an OG like us, basically, when it comes to investigating. So Mr. John Bullard actually, in a comment, had mentioned that Brian was an OG. And I was like, that's legit. Appreciate that. So come back tonight. You're not going to want to miss it. That's going to be fabulous.
Hey, can I see?
We're moving on to pick a card, but sorry, I interrupted you. You're about to say.
You totally cut me off. I was over here having my own conversation all by myself. All I wanted to say was I commented on it's Brian for tonight, right?
Yes.
I was like, hey, Brian, excited to meet you. And he said, you too, ma'am. And I was like, ma'am? He called me ma'am.
I hadn't had the opportunity to comment on that because I wondered, have you actually had that experience? Because a Southern gentleman, basically, will definitely be sure and refer to anyone as ma'am. So,
I figured that. That or, yeah, like a 4-year-old referred to me as an old lady, ma'am. I know ma'am doesn't mean old lady from Southern, but that's my experience with it. Either a child or... Anyway, I know. We got to get going. Sorry. Let's do this, people. All right, here we go. Pick a card. Before we start, we are going to connect with our intuition. Close your eyes. 3 deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more. Really elongate your inhale. Elongate your exhale. With the eyes closed, just notice the pace of your breath. Allow the belly to expand, contract by itself. Don't hold the belly in. Focusing on the pace of the breath, focusing on the depth of your breath. This is going to help connect you to your intuition. It's going to help you pick the right card. It's also going to help you to intuitively send me the information that you're needing to know. Continuing to allow that breath to slow down simply by becoming conscious of it, aware of it. Allowing the belly to really expand. When we hold in the belly, it affects everything we do. Release that belly, allow it to expand with the breath. 2 more long, slow inhales and exhales. Connecting to your body, connecting to your breathing, connecting to your higher consciousness. Here we go. That right there is from Daisy. Card 1, card 2, card 3. Card 1, card 2, card 3. Here we go. Deck 1. What does deck 1 need to know today? Deck 1, some of you guys are going on a journey. Doesn't necessarily, I mean, it could be travel, but it feels more like a spiritual awakening, a spiritual journey of change, a spiritual journey of change, of awakening, of awareness, removing blinders, being able to see things for how they actually are, being able to see things for how they truly are, not how you have perceived them, not how others have presented them. You are seeing things more honestly, more truthfully. There is a fear that you're going to carry or are carrying with knowing the truth, with knowing, it's almost like not wanting to know for some of you, but that's the beauty of this spiritual journey, because you are being asked to open your eyes, look around, be honest, be clear, be true. I'm not just saying, like, it sounds like I'm just saying like things that relate to positive thinking. This is very specific for this group. Be open, be clear, be honest. It's going to be hard to see what you're going to be shown. It's not going to be easy. But this is why they call it a spiritual journey, because a spiritual journey isn't filled with simply joy and love. It's filled with lessons, and lessons come with truth, and lessons come with awakenings. So deck 1, you are just on this spiritual journey. You will see things for how they truly are. You will be told, you will be, it's almost like you're going to be forced into seeing things for how they really are. If there's any resistance, any hesitation, it's going to be put in front of you anyway. And it's going to feel very painful. Okay. But it needs to. It's the only way for you to hear this. It's the only way for you to get it. It's the only way for you to understand it. And you understand that once you see the truth, you can then manage it and you can find the way through. When we're hiding behind knowing we don't want to know, or it's easier to be in denial, or it's easier to make things up, or it's easier to say it looks like this or should be that, all we're doing is putting off the inevitable and making life sticky, making relationships sticky and difficult and uneasy. But when this truth is thrown in front of you, now you're empowered, because now you can make these choices and decisions from a very honest, truthful place. It's a very empowering place for you to be in. I know it's not going to be easy. I know it's going to be hard, but it's all going to be worth it, because you're coming out of this. Like, I'm seeing you all just like, they're showing me like a bodybuilder, meaning obviously strength, and really confident. So it's going to be hard, but you're going to come out the other side happier, stronger, clearer. Card 2 or deck 2. You're finishing up some work. You're finishing up some karma. You're closing the door. You're moving on. You're letting go. Saying goodbye. Relationships ending. I'm seeing a man in particular walking away from marriage. It's the right thing to do. It's time. It's broken. The relationship's done. It's over. These relationships are over. This closure is correct. It's the right time. There's a lot of moving away. I'm seeing families split. And even though the split is painful, it's the right thing. I'm seeing new love found. And quiet time is needed because of all of this. It's a lot. I'm feeling a really strong male presence. I'm feeling a relationship, and I'm feeling like this might be the man in the relationship may be watching, or is the reason for this split. This split is supposed to happen. And being alone is what's next for both of you, and it's what's supposed to happen. Yes, the family is now split, but it's what's supposed to happen. There's children involved. They're going to be fine. It's going to take time, but this is what needs to happen. It's about walking away. And for those of you in this deck that are walking away, maybe it's not relationship, maybe it's job, maybe it's a city, maybe it's a family. You're walking away because you have to be alone for a while. Now, I'm hoping that those of you that are walking away are still, if you have children, you're taking responsibility for these children. You're not letting them go. But walking away and being alone is what you need to get your head straight. It's what you need to get yourself right and to get yourself back on track. So for some of you, you're walking away from a job, you're walking away from, a relationship. It's time for you to walk away and get back on track. This is imperative. This is the right thing to do. It doesn't feel like one of those amazing moments where we feel empowered. It's feeling pretty heavy and hard. A decision that impacts a lot of people and will affect a lot of people and will hurt people. But you have to understand that the decisions that were made up until this moment has forced this moment onto you. Remembering moving forward how the decisions we make and choices we make affect everyone around us. So we'll make different choices this time. Feeling guilty only delays the lesson. Learn the lesson, remove the guilt, so everybody can heal. It's time to walk away, though. That's what card 2 is at. Deck 3. God, these are pretty heavy, you guys. What's going on out there? Okay, last deck. All right. There's some anger going on out there, frustration. There was a big breakup or fight. There's some manipulation in this card. There's distrust. There's anger, frustration, not understanding why someone has done what they've done, not understanding them, seeing them in a different light. You saw them as someone that was, you know, not like this, that wouldn't have done this to you. But you're feeling manipulated, you're feeling taken advantage of, you're feeling, and which has caused this big break. This deck also is needing some serious alone time to heal. This deck is about healing. It's about clearing that rage. There's a lot of rage. Now, for anyone that's saying, oh, I don't have any anger, I don't know what that means. Do you suffer from depression? Most likely. Whether that depression is slight or large, anger tends to manifest itself into depression, repressed anger, excuse me. When we repress our anger, it tends to manifest into depression. Depression then can turn into not just almost feeling tired, lethargic, right? And so we want to express this anger. We want to express this rage. We want to do it in a safe way. You can create 2 different meditations. One is your daily practice and one is to clear your anger. Don't combine the 2 though, because you don't want your anger fueling your meditation. Going outside, journaling, therapy, obviously, or just finding someone that will listen and just yelling and crying. But you guys got to let go of this rage. You've been taken advantage of. You've misread this person. They showed you a side that you hadn't seen before. And so now you're pissed and it's like you're revengeful almost. Revenge isn't going to do anything. I wouldn't put my energy towards that. I put my energy towards healing and healing yourself. And then spending some time alone, definitely spending time alone, and definitely healing from this argument, or whatever this was that took place. There's just frustration and anger and manipulation, and this needs to be cleared. Move away from this person. Find some healing for yourself, and then ask yourself why you drew this person into your life and why and how you missed these warning signs.
Okay, there we go. Actually, now was it 3 that Daisy had already had picked, or was that 1? I was forgetting.
Daisy had picked this one.
Because it was very, very clear. I was like, oh, that's just such a perfect chew, and it was like, hey, let's just take a bite out of the corner. So
oh yeah, look at this one. Thanks, Daisy.
Well, so real quick before we move on to the special case, I don't necessarily know. I'm not going to assume that folks actually know who Daisy is, because that's actually a tremendously special backstory for you. So maybe take just a few minutes to share about Daisy with everybody.
Daisy, we adopted her 14 years ago. She was born blind and deaf. We adopted her when nobody else had special needs dogs. And so we had no help. You went off my intuition, which was kind of crazy. But we had another dog, Olivia, at the time, who basically took on the role as her mom and just took care of her. And so now Daisy rules the house, does whatever she wants. She loves destroying my stuff. And she loves going for my tarot cards. Don't know why. But yeah, on my Instagram, you'll see videos of her in the bath, or she's just silly. So silly.
And there's a book in there too, as well. Mm-hmm. What about Daisy?
What about Daisy the book? All about Daisy finding her forever home. Yeah.
So
what about Daisy.com?
There you go. So folks can check that out as well. So the case. This is going to be a little bit of a long one, so I was going to prepare everybody for that. But it is really intense. It's layered. And so what we like to be able to do is take some time out in the show to be able to bring you these cases where an individual who her identity has been protected. So that's why the voice has changed. You won't see her face. You won't hear any names mentioned. But this individual had reached out. And so she was willing to share the story with those conditions. And it's pretty fascinating. So we'll jump right into that right now so that everybody can experience the story.
How long ago did you experience the sleep paralysis and feeling like something was touching your leg or someone was?
Right after my grandfather passed away.
How long ago was that?
Let's see, he passed away in February 2 years ago. So it would have been like about 2 years ago, basically during this time, yeah. Like during these months was when everything like happened. It was like very intense.
Okay. I'm blocked for some reason, so just give me a minute. There's something that someone doesn't want me to know, or someone doesn't want you to know. What's going on? Was there some sort of mystery around how they died or why they died, or was there some sort of secret in the family? Yeah. Anything? What? Okay.
Whoa, yeah. That's crazy, yeah. My dad and my sister and my mom kept away my grandfather's death from me for a few days, and my sister had told me that because she didn't know I knew, she had to make up a lie that he was still alive and I was gonna end up seeing him, because my parents didn't want me to know yet because they weren't ready to tell me. And when I ended up finding out, I was devastated because I was lied to, and then like I was holding on.
Why are you the black sheep of the family? Why are you the one that, like, not that I believe anyone's victimized, but like I feel like it always happens to you, or somehow. Do you know where I'm saying with this? It's like I feel like there's always a what is different about you in this family?
I live in the United States. They're all from Cuba. My family was over there when everything happened, except my aunt. So I was always the one here. So I would go like a lot to see them. Like I have a really good connection with them, but I didn't live over there. So whenever I did get to see them, it was like this great time. So my other cousins grew up with them. I didn't, sadly.
There's this gap between not just distance, but I don't want to, I don't want to make you feel bad, but for some reason they look at you differently, and you are treated a little differently, like an outsider. And I almost want to say something like, it's almost like they, even though they love you, there was this sense of they're mad that you left. They're mad that you're not there. They're not happy. And there's this little like chip on their shoulder, kind of like, I almost want to say like, well, don't give it, it's, take it with a grain of salt. Like there's this sense of just flippant behavior with you that goes deeper than you realize. And you're an outsider to them. And I'm not liking this feeling I'm getting from them. And I'm, it's,
every time we would go and visit, they treat like me and my family like with like like a bunch of food. They would like try to make us feel as most comfortable as we could, and like just during that moment, it was like very intense of them like trying to show like that they care. Like, oh, here's all the food. Here's let's go here all together. And my dad, we would all try to like they'd try to make us feel as comfortable as they could. Because over there, it's a different type of life. It's not like over here you have food all the time and like products that you can use all the time. So maybe that's what you're saying. I don't know. I'm confused about that.
Mm-hmm. Someone or something is blocking me from helping you. There's this, okay, I'm trying to be gentle, and so I'm not speaking the truth. So I'm going to speak the truth, and then I'll come back and kind of soften it up, just so I can say what's coming through. I'm just going to go back to what I originally said. There's someone over there just is not happy with you, is not happy with the choices you've made, doesn't it's like there's this wall. They don't like you, they're not happy with you, they don't want you dealing with certain things, they want you staying out of people's business, and even though there may be this front of, yeah, you know, she's family, but there's this veil of bullshit that's happening. And the way that you were treated for this around your grandparents' death was just a touch of this veil of bullshit that's put up when someone over there deals with you. I'm not saying this is a blanket statement with your family. It feels like a handful of 1 or 2, 3, 4 maybe people that feel this way. And so there's this, they say stuff to make you think they love you, they're taking care of you, but it's bullshit. They're actually manipulating and trying to hurt you. Who is that? Who is that? Who's doing that to you? Because what happened with the way you were treated with your grandparents' death was just a taste of this. And I'm not saying it's your mom, I'm not saying it's your dad, I'm not saying it's your sister. I don't know who it is, but there's someone over there who works in, see, what was happening to you wasn't your grandfather. Someone's working in darker magic and they're effing with you, and someone is not happy.
I think I know who this is.
Who is it?
My grandmother was very deep into the religion in Cuba with, like, you know, it's called Santeria over there.
Oh yeah.
See that she was very friends with, she was part of that, and she was very deep into like more darker stuff. And during my grandma's passing, I was there, not before she passed, but during the very hard moments. That lady would say, the other side doesn't want you yet, the other side doesn't want you yet. That like kind of traumatized me, because I'm like that's just crazy. My grandma ended up passing anyways, but the lady was very deep into like that dark stuff.
Okay.
So that could be her, I don't know.
What's her name?
Remember her name.
Okay, that's okay. I don't need it. At least I have a lead now, because at least I have a lead. There's somebody that is consciously moving against you, and there isn't a personal reason why. It's not like you did something to someone to cause this. It's that there's this overall, there's this overall, okay, so it's, so whoever did this, they set a, I don't want to say the word spell because it sounds kind of cheesy and silly, but they set this intention, and it has influenced and affected everybody. This woman, I almost want to say this woman was like in love with your grandmother. There was a obsessive, bizarre connection she had with her. And so it's not that she set the spell directly on you, it kind of encompassed the family. And she was like, her intention was, when your grandmother passes, the two of them would be connected. She would only speak with her. She wouldn't go through anyone else. So when she also set this intention, she wanted to make sure that others were blocked from connecting with grandma in particular. And so what you were experiencing, the sleep paralysis and feeling someone in your bed, was not your grandfather. Your grandfather was trying to get in between the being that was sent to you and you. So you felt your grandfather because he was there, because he was in between. So if you're here, this being that was sent to mess with you is here, and your grandfather was here. So
I was laying sideways on my bed, and I felt someone like heavy. It was like a black shadow, like in my paralysis, right next to me. But there was like something across the room too.
Oh wow! So you felt all of it. I felt
everything, and I felt leg closed. The most thing that scared me was because I felt endangered sometimes. There was only like a few times where I felt safe I felt something in my room, but I felt calm, and it was directly across from me, like in front of my TV, where like I felt something was there, but I felt like safe. I felt safe. Yes, I felt endangered, like I didn't feel good. I felt scared, and like, I mean, mostly paralysis is scary, but just that moment, I felt like scared for what was next to me, and then the leg pulling and all that. That was,
That's fascinating. So you felt exactly what I just described.
Exactly.
You felt the light in the dark. So sleep paralysis is different for everyone because it depends on the being that is chosen to take over the human body to cause the paralysis. So the being comes in, envelopes the physical body, and then tries to use it and manipulate it to their, like if they could, they would get up and basically embody you, take over your body and move on with life. But because that's not supposed to happen for some people and for you, it didn't completely take over. So the reason for that is your grandfather. Your grandfather stopped this being, because this being has a habit of it's like body snatching, basically, going in and taking over people's bodies. This particular being, this doesn't mean what all sleep paralysis is, but sleep paralysis is absolutely darker energies taking over. But for you, because you had someone interjecting, there was this, it's like it couldn't fully happen, which was why you were aware of everything that was happening.
I couldn't see face, I couldn't see anything, but I could just lay down. I knew there was something there. And mostly paralysis sometimes will say, oh, I see something across the room, which that's what normal people would say. But no, the thing was right in bed with me.
Yeah.
Big body black figure was in bed with me. That was what scared me so bad. And I communicated everything with my dad. And because we believe in like this religion, we believed in it because of my grandmother, but we didn't practice everything. My dad would just take some things that he learned from her, and I would sleep with a cup of water under my bed, which supposedly would take away bad dreams or something like that. And no, it didn't help. Nothing really helped. I never was really connected with God or anything. I started like praying every night because I was like, I can't, like, this is like getting to me really bad, because like I didn't know what to do.
That's fascinating. We're going to talk more about that. So your grandfather is watching over you. You don't have to worry moving forward. What you do have to be aware of is that this woman has set this spell over not just you, but some of your other family members.
Yeah,
so what we need to figure out is how to, let me see if I can figure out
Everything bad has happened. I'm really hoping, I don't want to say it yet. I'm trying to know if the cards maybe will tell you or if they'll speak to you. But something else really bad happened after my grandparents' death, all in the same year. But I want to see if maybe you can find out from them. I don't know. It was after their passing.
Okay, so let's just let me first deal with this woman, because this woman is the root of everything. So
She's
it's not that
she hasn't passed away. She's still alive.
okay. So it's not that I don't want to deal with this other stuff, but it's dealing with the root. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if you're sick, the doctors want to know why are you sick, not just that your nose is running. So let me figure out. Hang on, I got to do a couple things because she's in here right now. Hold on. There still?
Yeah, just a little nervous.
Okay. So you don't have to be nervous because you've got your grandfather. So
Well, I don't want them to be angry with me for like trying to communicate, because my parents always told me, the dead have to rest in peace, You can't obsess over the death, I just didn't want them to like be angry with me. That was one of the reasons I was like debating whether I should try to talk to a medium, but I was like, I need to, because I experienced stuff that like I was skeptical about what I was experiencing. I was like, am I going crazy? But I was like, there's no way, because everything felt so real, like so real.
no, you're not crazy at all. And if beings who have passed over don't want to communicate with you, they won't. If they are feeling harassed or bothered, they won't. But bringing closure is important for so many people.
I need that for sure.
Nobody's mad. I mean, your grandfather's been around protecting you. It's the opposite of mad. Your grandmother's not accessible right now, and I think that might have to do with this woman, this energy. Okay, I disconnected with her for a minute just because she starts to come in real strong and gets just, I don't want to give her the she enjoys the fight. She enjoys someone coming in and pushing back against her. So I just backed off.
The lady that I was telling you about, she supposedly manifests another spirit in her. That's what she says. Of a guy. I don't know the guy's name, but she would like voice him through her or something like that. I'm not sure if that was true, but that was her main thing when she practiced that religion of hers. It was this guy, this spirit, she said, that attached himself to her, and that was her way of like speaking sometimes and telling people some stuff that like people should like that she shouldn't know about, but she knows.
I see. Okay, so she was just channeling a darker energy.
That's what
yeah, I mean, she was.
She would have tobaccos in the house and alcohol, because that's what the guy would like. So whenever she channeled him, she would smoke a tobacco or drink rum or something. It was crazy. I mean, I was like 10 and I'd see the stuff and I'd get cleansed with like flowers, and I'm like, what's going on? And she'd give me her reading and tell me, you're special. I know you're special. And I was like, what is going on? I'm like, wow. 10. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I know some people, like bullshit this stuff, but you're giving me like stuff. I know what's going on. It's like making me feel like good inside, but also nervous. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you've had a lot of bad experiences with the other side and with spirituality and with energy. You've had bad experiences. And just like in the human body, we have bad experiences. It's no different. You can dabble in the dark, you can dabble in the light. It's up to you. There's nothing wrong. And I encourage people to explore light, because ultimately you're spirit first and you're human second. And so you should remember who you are by being able to connect, by being able to see and feel. And you can see and feel because you've experienced that many times. And there's a reason why this woman was obsessed with you and put stuff on you because you have all these capabilities. So she knew you were a threat to her, others weren't. She feels threatened by women in particular. I feel like, and I'm saying this only because it's relevant, she's gay and she's not open about it. And it's causing her to wish harm on others because she can't be who she wants to be.
She did have an obsession with my grandma. You were so right about that. That's crazy. To the point where my grandma looked up to her. My grandma looked up to her in her religion. The reason my grandma adopted this type of religion was because of that lady. And I wouldn't even say it felt like Santeria, because Santeria was more like of light and looking up to these there's like 5 gods that they would believe in, because they would practice like different stuff. They had dolls around the house, and it was more like spiritual stuff. So in my head, I figured like it had to be more darker stuff. There's no way it was light.
For sure.
They didn't have the gods. I mean, I have a few of the items here in my house from that religion. So it was like half and half. It was like half light, but then it felt like it was half dark.
Sure. Absolutely. That makes sense. Do you
bring other stuff in?
Is everything in your home something that you feel is 100% light? Because basically, if it's not, you need to get rid of it. She has this ability to like move through things and have things move through her, like you had said, that she has a being that she allows to come through her. And so anything in your home, she can move through, she can manipulate you with, and she's still very much interested in you and your connection to, just because of who you are and your connection to your grandmother. Her personality is so obsessive that she will always be like this. And then when she channels a being that is even more obsessive than her, you now have these two powerful energies coming together that can wreak havoc on people. So right now for you, it'll be important when we're offline that you send me photos of all these things, and I'm going to tell you which ones you need to get rid of and which ones you can keep. In the meantime, I'm trying to, she set a spell because it's wrapped around, it's intertwined and wrapped around you. The thing is it's wrapped around you, but your grandfather's in there. So it's like the two of you are like this, and this thing is wrapped around you both. And your grandfather's gotten in the middle again so that you aren't experiencing what she put on you regularly. It's like he's acting as a filter. And that can't continue. That can't be just your normal way of living. Like, that has to stop.
I mean, for him, at least, I want him to rest in peace for sure.
And remember, he will. That's not for you to be concerned with. This is when people pass over, resting in peace. When people pass over, they work the way we do, and their souls continue to work, and their souls go back in body, or they move on, and they are, they work towards the angelic realm, and so resting in peace isn't anything anyone does. Their souls are continually growing and changing. So, and it's not for you to determine whose soul is to rest in peace and whose isn't, especially when you have someone like your grandfather whose job is to take care of you. That's his job right now. So pretend like your grandfather never passed. If someone said to him, we need you to go over and take care of her, she's not feeling well, he would do it. That's exactly what's happening right now. It's no different.
I go through a lot of like emotional stuff, and like I went through depression after the things, and like anxiety. Now I like have a lot of that. And like some moments where like I feel really sad, like I feel like a relief because I feel like, something's there with me, but nothing bad, just something like good, just like this rush of like I should be okay. That's what I feel.
you are okay, and you will be okay, and that's because your grandfather's there. I want to figure out how to undo this for you. So give me a minute. Say her name again for me. What's your grandfather's name again? Okay. Okay. Say, I'm going to ask you to say her name 3 times out loud.
The lady's name?
Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths.
Okay.
All right. Your grandfather's got it. She's disconnected from you. So what we have to do is clean out your space, sage your home. And how many pictures of your grandfather do you have up?
None. We keep, well, the only thing we have, like, picture-wise of them is a drawing I made. That's all we have.
Okay, this picture you sent me, print it and put it up.
That's the drawing I made. I drew that picture that I sent you. Exactly.
Okay, so next to it, put the actual photo.
The actual photo? Okay.
Yep. I want you to buy a cross, and the cross will be on the left of the photo, and then but I need you to buy the cross from a very specific place. Where do you live? Do not purchase it from any place that is any denomination or has or sells things that contribute to spell making or anything of the sort. So it has to be a very angelic driven space, or even just go to a church if I don't know where they sell them.
Yeah.
Wherever you got to go to get one, or yeah. So so you'll do that. I don't want you to. I want you to. We need to clear your space for sure. They keep saying we need to clear your space. Okay. So you'll have the photo of him. You'll have the drawing. And you'll have the cross. We're going to clear out your space. She's been disconnected from you, but your grandfather has told me that I don't need to do anything else. He's there. He's got this under control, and he has karma he wants to finish with her, so he wants to be the one to deal with her.
Never liked her. We never, ever liked her.
Yeah.
He never got involved in my grandma's stuff, but he never liked that lady at all.
He said that he, you know, that he has karma that he has to work out, and he wants to be the one to deal with her. He doesn't want me to be the one to remove her. He wants to remove her. Now it's about you. It's time for you to focus on you and rebuild. And between now and around December, everything's going to look very different for you in a very positive way. I'm really glad you reached out. You needed to.
I needed it. Thank you.
yeah, you're pretty awesome, and take it as a compliment. I mean, they always say when someone throws energy at you like that or tries to block you like she did, that's a compliment because she knows how strong you are. So find that power and use it to be of service and to help others.
Thank you.
Wow. So that had like multiple layers, and I hope everybody was able to hang with us through that, because that was one of those cases that just kind of developed, because I don't recall a single time where basically somebody living energetically came into your space.
Mm.
So
that was interesting.
That was a thing. You know, maybe not the first time for you, but with us working together, I was like, okay, we'll chalk that one up to that was different. You know, for sure. But you know, that's where if anyone you have a specific case like that you want us to be able to help out, then definitely be sure and reach out to us.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll get myself out of the way and we'll get things rolling.
All right, Deborah. How is my dad, Paul, doing? Does he have anything to tell me? I feel like we had this question last week and I needed a picture from her.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. So Deborah, just email me.
Yeah, if you haven't, if you didn't do that, then be sure and do that. Let me find another one here.
Will I meet a new lover since I'm single since 5 years? I'm afraid to suffer again. France. Okay. So, France, are you going to meet somebody? There is someone, it feels like there's someone that you might already know or you know through somebody else, but they're showing me your heart with just like, it's almost like an octopus like wrapped around it, where you're just, it's just such a tight grasp that there is someone in your life and you can't even see it. You don't even know it because your heart is just so impaired. So, yes, there is somebody, but you have to do some homework because your heart is in no position to notice anybody or see anything. You have to do a lot of healing so that octopus that's around your heart is removed. That's quite a visual they gave me, very specific. So work on that and find out who that person is that's around you. You're not going to see it until you open up that heart, and it may not be someone. I'm not really sure if you know them specifically right now as much as they know someone that you know. And so it's like this person is in your life. It's just a matter of you being ready and healed to be able to see that. Should I be worried about my health? Cindy, I might want a picture, but hang on. My first reaction is no, but to answer a question like that, I'd want you to email me and I get some pictures. I wouldn't want to mislead you. Change soon, Angela. Okay, so Angela's been going through some really bad luck lately. Is my luck going to change soon? So we could do a whole show on this. Luck. What we put out is what we get back. That's the simplest version. The problem is majority of us are not conscious of what we put out. If you have a daily meditation practice, that then teaches you how to be conscious of what you put out. It's our subconscious that's putting out so much, and that dictates our existence. Our subconscious, our past, all of that dictates our existence, which is where people will say, well, why would I create that? Or why would I ask for that? Or why would I want this? Well, because the first layer of you is your past, is your karma, is your higher consciousness, and all the pain that's been instilled in that you haven't healed. And so it's just a broken record. So I don't believe in luck. I believe in consciously putting out there something. Now, we are co-creators with the universe. It's 50-50. So you can, it doesn't mean that you can control the crap out of everything. It means you're 50-50. And so spirit will get with you if you are, on the wrong path or wanting something that isn't the best for you. But anyway, it's not what you wanted to hear. A lecture. Let's go back to your question, Angela. You have to, no, spirit is sticking with my lecture. They're saying that you need to figure out why you are drawing to yourself these experiences. You need to figure out why you are feeling almost victimized by it, like you can't control what's going on around you. No, we can't control other people, but we can control not only our reactions, but what we continue to draw to ourselves. And that's what they keep going back to, was, why are you drawing this to you? How do I prepare my family for my recently found 3 tumors in my brain? So that's a big one. And I'm definitely sorry you're going through that, Pamela. Why don't you email me, and I'm going to have you send me some photos, and I can get a specific response for you, because otherwise it's more of a answer for a therapist. But if you want your higher consciousness to communicate, then let's get a picture to me and I'll do that for you. I'm developing my numerology and tarot knowledge, tips and recommendations. Stephanie, okay, so numerology, that's awesome. Good for you. And tarot, I mean, my gosh. To me, these are just the fundamentals. It's like, what is the fundamentals you need to learn how to walk, right? Whatever that is, we all use it. Use those fundamentals, holding on to something, crawling first, whatever that is, it's the same thing. These are imperative. But what I always like to share is how I learned, and how I highly recommend you learn tarot specific. Numerology, I am not well versed in that. And I know that is very much like a science. So that's very cool. But tarot, intuition, all of that, psychic abilities. So get your tarot decks. Do not read the book. Don't read what the cards mean. All you're going to do is sit with the cards, shuffle them, meditate, have them in your meditation, sleep with them under your pillow. And then you're going to start shuffling and reading the cards that fall out. And when I say read, I mean, when the card turns over, what's the first feeling you get? What's the first vision you see? What's the first emotion you feel? And then allow that to keep flowing and flowing and flowing. That's your intuition. That's using your third eye. That's using your gut. The moment we start reading the book, we start to say, oh, this means that, and this means that. Well, the amount of times that I've pulled 5 of Earth, let's say, and someone could give you a whole rundown on what that means, and my interpretation for you would be completely different, because I'm using it as a tool to open up my intuition, to spark that intuition. So the best advice I can give is, don't open that book yet. Open it later when your intuition is easy and flowing and you're getting it. Then read the book, then learn about it. Now you've got the power of both, and you'll be a really phenomenal reader, and you can apply it to your numerology, and it'll be really great. So congratulations. I'm really excited for you. But that's my strongest tip that I swear by. How is my dental appointment? Sue, are you scared of the dentist?
I thought you might like that one too.
If it makes you feel better, I'll take any appointment any day over the dentist, and I have the best dentist in the world. How is your dental appointment going to go? Let me see. Let me see if the cards will just give me a kind of a straightforward. If no, I may have you have you send me a picture. Sue. It feels like it should be fairly quick. It doesn't seem like there's going to be, if there's something you're concerned about, it's not going to be as bad as you think.
Okay.
I'm wanting to know how to better deal with my husband's illness for my sake and his. Peggy. Let me see if I can. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. I may need your picture as well. Let me see. I'll try to see if I get anything. Just because I again, this would be a question for a therapist, but if you want something specifically for from your guides, you know, I may need some eyes. I'm going to need photos of all of you guys. Why don't you email me that, and then I can answer that for you. I just don't want to spout anything off in a situation like you're in. I want to be specific. Am I going to, Stephanie, am I going to get my ankle surgery like I need? Yes. You are, hold on. I should really get my glasses so I can see your face. Yes, you're going to be able to get that surgery, but more so they're asking, why is this stressing you out so much? Why is this putting so much pressure on your life? Why is this, they're saying like, it's almost as if this is like controlling your life. And I'm not saying that necessarily literally, but they're saying, stop worrying. Put your attention to where it should be or needs to be. This will be taken care of. It's like you're redirecting your emotions and ignoring what you should be dealing with. And you're going to get what you need for your ankle. That's going to be taken care of. Are there any messages from my sister, mom, or dad? Christy, Jeff. Your sister, Christy, your sister just jumped in. I know for some people I need photos and able to read, and for some people, if for whatever reason it's for them to get the information right now, I don't need pictures. That's why some people I do, some people I don't. Your sister jumped out first, so she's saying she simply said, she was laughing and just said, you have to laugh so much more. You have to laugh so much more. And you have to take advantage of your life. You're living it halfway, and you need to live it fully. I know that can sound cliche, but it's coming specifically from her. I mean, I can feel it and you can't, I know, but you're half-assing things, and not because you mean to. You don't mean to half-ass it. You're not lazy. You're struggling. And she's saying, it's like you're carrying a backpack and there's nothing in it. It's okay. Take off the backpack. It's okay to just kind of look around and say, okay, the burden I'm carrying is coming directly from me. It's not coming from outside me. I hope that helps. Mary Graham, I was told the other night I had an entity attachment causing me to be sick and all this negativity around me. Can you see all that also? That's a loaded question. That might even be a case for us to do next week. So email me and we'll take care of that. Peggy, I'm going to get a CT scan of the head. Will it show why I feel like this? Oh, you guys and I love your questions, but when you ask health questions, I'm nervous to answer just with the deck. If I can get your pictures, and I can be much more specific. I don't want to mess with your health and say something that I'm not confident with. But yeah, Peggy, send me a picture of you, please, and I'll answer that for you.
Just a second.
I'm feeling stuck in a rut with life at the moment. How can I get out of it, please? Claire. Okay. You're doing something you shouldn't be doing anymore, that you're done with. But it's like, I almost feel like if I said that, you'd be like, yeah, I know I'm burnt, but I love what I do. Yet I'm like, do you hear that? Like, I love what I do, but I'm burnt. So in essence, you no longer love what you do. You have to change what you do. You are stuck because you aren't willing to look outside. There's like, It's like you live in a box that's all windows, and you don't know it. You don't know that you can just look to the right and you've got, oh, I could do this. Or there's not just like an opportunity, but there's a clue. There's something guiding you. It's a what's the word? I'm losing the word. What's the word I want to say? A sign. It's a sign. So for you, they're saying, yes, you're stuck in a rut because you're acting like you're okay with what you do, and you no longer enjoy it. It really isn't what you want to be doing. There's something else for you. To find the sign of what that is, you need to realize that there's windows all around you. Instead, you're seeing them as walls, and so you aren't seeing signs. You aren't seeing and hearing people talking, and you going, wait, what? Oh, that sounds fun, or I could do that, or blah blah blah. Like there's this lack of openness. That's why you're stuck in a rut. Open yourself up. Your daily meditation practice will do that. If you have a daily meditation practice and it's not doing that, then you need to change it up, because that's how this is going to change for you.
Okay, and I believe this would be our last question.
Okay. I've been told that he is here with me in my house. Roseanne. Roseanne, email me. I want to get a picture of him.
All right. So for everybody else, if we did not get to your question, then yes, as it's scrolling at the bottom right there, that is the email address that you need to send things to. Our idea is that we do that at the top of next week's show if you send that information in. And then there was definitely some longer conversations with the one that Maryam referenced that could potentially be a case. A lot of other detail was shared. So we'll see about getting in touch with you and working that out. But folks, as always, my goodness, we thank you for joining us. Come back here tonight at wherever you're watching this, Facebook or YouTube channel, whichever one you're seeing it on. The exact same one will be here 10 o'clock tonight. Unexplained Cases live with a live investigation. We are looking forward to seeing you then.